speeding chemicals into the space on the road basis.
Okay, we will open this meeting of April 15th, Tax Day, 2011. Let the records be shown that Selectman Boudreau is not present. This meeting is to meet with Dennis on a couple of items, and then we have a couple more agenda items that we forgot to address last night. So, we have bids, I believe, right?
I do. This is on the quotes for the spring sweeping. One from rural sweeping, one from rabbit sweeping, okay? And I've got another verbal quote from Claremont sweeping, which is local, okay? Rabbit is $1.15 per hour with a $60 travel, but I think I can get that eliminated, okay, because of the time that he's going to be there. Rule is $1.12 per hour, no travel. Claremont sweeping is $90 per hour, okay, verbal, but he does not have a high lift dump, which that is okay. We would supply a truck for these out to Rabbit and Rule, and they fill their hopper. The canister comes up out of the truck and can dump into my six-wheelers. So he's constantly either dumping or sweeping and not traveling. Where Claremont does not have a high lift, so I would have to find him a place, hopefully close by, to be able to dump, or he would have to come all the way back to the highway garage to dump. And looking at that, you're going to get a lot of travel time because they only haul probably a yard and a half, 2 yards in those sweepers, okay?
So it's primarily for Main Street, so you have them down in our parking lot down here behind Cumbies, but then who's going to pick it up and haul it away?
Yeah, but it's not only the Main Street that we're talking about. We're talking about Noyce Road, we're talking about Mansfield Road, we're talking about Hill Road.
Yeah, but I mean, still, you can find places, but who's gonna go pick that stuff up?
Then we would have to go and pick it up, okay?
So you've got extra man hours there.
We've got extra man hours there, correct.
It's gonna cost us more, even though they're less.
It would.
But can I ask a question? Didn't we make a motion in the not-too-distant past to have Mike Rabbit as the sole source of,
Well, what I tried to do, okay, is he does my spring sweeping on the streets, okay? But also Mike Rabbit offers the service, okay? He comes every Friday from 12 a.m. until 5 a.m. and spends 1 hour, okay, here on the Main Street and does the complete Main Street, okay?
During the course of the summer?
During the course of the summer on the weeks that I want him to do that job, okay? And that price is $95 for that 1 hour for sweeping the Main Street.
Yep.
No travel time included. And generally what I try to do is if Mike, I give the sweepings to Mike, I usually give the catch basin cleanings to Rule, which is out of Marion, okay? Now last year, I spent in catch basin cleaning $39.60 for doing all the catch basins.
Yep.
And sweeping, the spring sweeping was right around $2,400, okay? Up to date this year, I've spent $4,337. So I still have in my budget left over $9,000.
You spent $4,000 on what, sweeping?
No, on
Basins?
on
Or
the
both?
snow removal.
Oh, snow removal.
Snow removal, okay? And then if you add another 4,000 onto the 43, now you're up to 83, and 2,500 onto the 83, you're looking at around 11, 211.
how much did you specifically set aside for sweeping last year, for this year?
It all goes in my subcontract,
Oh,
total
okay.
line item was 13,660,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
What else is that about?
Snow removal,
Just snow?
yeah, snow
Just
removal,
snow
So
and
we have
sweeping?
about,
snow sweeping, catch basins, okay?
and we have
That's it.
about 11,000 left in that, or 9,000, you said?
After I do the catch basins and after I do the springtime sweeping and the weekly sweeping, it would run probably around 12.5, 12.6, maybe 13, okay?
Okay.
Because I've used Kenny a little bit more this winter cleaning up than I have in previous years.
The storm drains comes out of the storm drain line?
No, because there's only $3,000 there.
What does come out of that?
That would be,
That's all my catch basins,
That's all
catch
your
basins,
catch
pipe,
basins.
Yeah, to clean them or to?
no, to
No,
repair
repair
them.
To repair them,
Repair.
okay.
Right, yes.
that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your recommendation?
I would like to go with Mike Rabbit, if I can get the $60 an hour per travel time reduced out of there. And then go with Rule on the catch basin cleaning.
Where does
Can I see
Rabbit
the
come
list
from?
of prices?
Concrete, ball, yeah. And Rule comes out of Meredith. But Rule also supplies a service of sweeping. But if I looked at Rule and gave Rule, I feel I gave him both of them, okay? Is he gonna be able to come down here on a weekly basis like Mike Rabbit does in the summertime to sweep the main street one day per week? He may not be able, or it may be,
How much of it, was he go like from tracks to tracks or?
he goes from tracks to tracks now, yes. No, actually it goes further than that, he goes up to Winter Street.
Okay, so basically from the park to the tracks,
Don't we
to the
set,
Cumberland's
Cumbies to the park?
to the park, correct, yes,
Okay.
yes.
don't we set the area that he sweeps?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Does he charge $60 travel time?
No, that's a flat 95. Yeah.
That's in the summer, that's separate
That's
in the summer,
right, in
that's
the
not the
summertime,
other one.
yes, yeah.
So what are you going to do if you can't get Rabbit to drop the $60 travel?
Go the rule.
Old Rule,
Okay.
yes, yes. Mhm.
So he wants $120 a day for travel time.
Yeah.
So I'm reading.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't want 115 plus
No.
60, $175 an hour.
Right,
He wants 60 to get here and 60 to get
Yeah.
home.
that's correct, yes. Yeah.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to go with Dennis's recommendations for Rabbit. If he will drop the $60 travel charge,
Mhm.
and if not, then he'll use Rule for everything.
Right.
Second.
How many hours does it normally take?
And that varies, Catherine, but last year, okay, I think it was 18 hours. Just to
The
do,
spring?
just for spring cleanup.
Yeah, it's
18
gonna be
hours.
the big one
Yeah,
there.
that's the big one, yes, yes. Yeah.
Does he get all town roads?
Mainly, normally, we do our sand roads first, Manville, Noyes, Chapman, and Hill. We do them
How far does the pavement go on those? I thought it was only like,
all the way around the circle,
oh, it does?
yes, yeah, yeah.
Been a while since
And then I
I've
kind of
paid
look
attention.
at how I'm coming as far as what I've spent, okay?
Yeah,
I didn't get
And-
Maple Court in there.
And then, okay, if I
you
can,
got a
I can
broom?
look at some of the other inline streets where you just gotta make one pass up and one pass down, and if I spent 2 or 3 hours additional, then I go ahead and do that,
Yeah.
yes.
Now, why do we only do, drives me nuts, we do Route 3. Why do we do Noise and Hill? Because we don't use salt, we use a lot more sand.
We strictly sand, yes, yes. Yes. They're all sand roads, no salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anybody who rides a motorcycle, that sand is just like ball bearings.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mhm. Okay?
We didn't vote.
Oh, I'm
All
sorry.
right, motion made and seconded. Is there any more discussion on it? All those in favor of the motion?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the The other thing was, the 29th and the 31st, I followed the, garbage truck on the east and the west end. There were some problem areas. Was it significant? No, I don't feel that it was, okay, out of the ones that were excess. I think it's just something that we should monitor and look at, okay? There were some, areas that had a lot more than the 5 bags. And what they did was, they picked up the 5 bags and left the rest. We did get some calls, okay? When I talked to the people, I told them what the ordinance was. So I think that right now, my suggestion would be is just to monitor it.
Yeah,
If we see that we're getting into a real big problem, okay, then I can come back and address it with you people.
right.
In the meantime, if I see somebody that has put out a lot, with the board's approval, maybe I could get with Joyce and we could send them a copy of the ordinance and, you know, just give them a warning that it's.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yesterday, I came up West Main Street,
Yeah, it's still there.
yeah, cause there was a ton of trash.
What, 397 West Main. There's an individual that's cleaning out his garage, okay? He had came previous to yesterday, a week ago, and asked us when the spring cleanup was gonna be. Okay, we told him, and we told him that possibly, next week we would have the complement of dumpsters back into the highway garage so he could bring stuff in. But if he doesn't have 15 to 18 bags,
He doesn't have one.
he doesn't have one.
And they're up beside the
And they're
road,
out beside the road
they need
now.
to be pulled in,
Yeah, right, right.
that's a call to the police.
Well, I was gonna say, I was really surprised, I came down School Street yesterday and there was a house there. They must have had 12, 13 bags sitting out there and it's a single family home.
Spring cleaning time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
It's still outrageous and not acceptable, but
Right.
Right,
I understand kind of what they're doing.
right, right. But best way is monitor it, and, you know, if there's, you know, 5.5, 6 bags, they would probably take it, not a problem, so there wouldn't be a mess there. But if there's an exorbitant amount,
Yeah.
okay,
18
We have
bags,
another-
for instance?
they're not going.
Did I tell you about Three Maples Cottages?
Yes.
Did I tell you about
We
that?
talked about it, but we were gonna look on the
And I
lot.
did, there's 11 units,
Yeah,
so we should bring that to the selectmen, how they wanna handle that.
Send them a copy of the ordinance, tell them we'll only pick up 5 bags.
Right, but
Mail
there's
it.
11 units.
Then
So-
they should get a
Dumpster.
It's
dumpster.
one property.
Yeah, they should get a dumpster.
It's just, it's just like an apartment building, you know,
Mhm.
it's the same thing, it's just like a business, I don't care how many units
The
there is.
roadway in,
One
I mean,
building.
they have a
It's
dumpster.
one property.
Well, we have a lot of other properties, that's one property that there's more than one unit that are being picked up.
Like Ideal Hall.
Yeah.
You always
That-
see them
that
on
was-
the
And I
in front of
never
the
thought
place.
that should be,
that was,
That's a
that was one of the
business.
problems last year.
it's not a
Okay.
private residence,
Oh,
that's
it's
a business,
Gaslight?
it's a
The
for-profit
co-op,
entity,
Right.
they all
it's
get
a
picked up.
business, it's
Oh.
commercial.
Now, do they go in there and
Yes, they
and go,
do.
and go
Yes, they
around,
do.
so they're only picking up like 2 from each unit, like in Quinn's?
I look
Right.
at that as being slightly different because those people own their mobile homes. They
That's
Right.
rent
right,
the
Right.
land.
those are private
Right.
residences.
That's kind of a different
Different.
critter.
Mm.
Right, than an
Yeah.
apartment building.
Well, these are rental units,
But that's
Three
that
Maples.
rental
but
unit
they're seasonal, they're
is a
year-round
commercial,
Yeah.
for-profit enterprise.
Right.
Someone owns it, I know who owns it, she doesn't wanna own it anymore. But,
Well, that's kind of a
Right,
rat.
but our
hole,
ordinance
so-
doesn't say that, our ordinance includes commercial properties, and it's a 5-bag
Right.
limit,
Right,
there you go, it's a
Right.
commercial property with a 5-bag limit.
okay,
right.
and then,
If they were separate lots,
If they were,
then they would be able to put out, each lot would be able to put
if
out
they were
5 bags.
condos,
Don't even go there, they
Right.
would be
if they
condos before
owned
you
their
know it.
units individually, well, that's different.
Cause each one is a taxpayer.
Right,
Mhm.
That's a commercial property in the business of renting.
how do we treat, Southfield Downs there, or whatever?
Well,
South Bay,
South Bay, their bags will have 2, okay?
same
Yeah,
thing.
they should be the same.
They're the same, but what happens
So we
there,
should send them a
okay,
letter
is
too.
they put 10 bags on one side of the driveway because they have a loop around,
Yeah,
and then they'll put 10 bags over towards Nick's house. So, we take 5 bags, and that's it. Previously, a year ago, he used to have a dumpster there,
Yeah.
but he no longer does.
Maple or South?
3,
South Bay.
South Bay, yes. Yeah.
Now, Maple has always been, 3 Maples Court has always been picked up, so this is gonna be a change for them. We should send them a copy of the ordinance.
As far as, yes, as far as I
He
know,
didn't
they always
call.
have.
I bet those cottages aren't even large enough to be dwelling units.
probably.
Well, I printed out the cards if you wanna see them, they are tiny, but it says
Yeah.
right on the assessment card that people live there, they're rented year round for water.
Kind of thing
And
where you,
that's gotta be
those
enforced.
cottages
No,
are the
we've got
kind of thing
to.
where you have to step outside just to change your mind.
Oh, there's people living there.
Whoops, I'm
Then
sorry,
that
Sandy.
needs to be addressed because they shouldn't be.
I
We've never
think
resolved that issue.
that, right, I think that issue has to be resolved,
Right.
really, we should.
We just have to clarify it for the code enforcement officer.
Right.
Now, if there is a problem, who should I get with to try to correct the problem?
Joyce,
Okay, and then,
She'll give us up to date
She'll
every
give
time.
her
okay, but I mean, as far as like the bags today on West Main Street,
13, there's 11.
those should not stay all
we
weekend.
call the police,
So,
they need to enforce the ordinance.
Yeah, they need to pick
Okay.
up the
So
trash.
397,
397, yes, yeah.
and then we're gonna send an ordinance, a copy of the ordinance to Mr. Hong.
29 by
30.
30.
Yeah.
3 Maples
Green
Court
Maples and also South Bay.
Mhm.
and South Bay.
Yeah.
All right.
They own, the restaurant on, that used to be Weeks' in Laconia,
14 by
3
16,
Maples.
Oh, okay.
Belongs on.
Okay, yeah.
The
12 by
Chinese
19.
place? Is that right? I didn't
Is
realize.
that livable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost the size of my camp.
Oh, I
But
know.
don't we have a 600 square foot dwelling unit?
650, isn't
50,
that?
650.
Well, that's,
$650 for a year-round dwelling.
these are year round, they rent them year round.
Well, they
Right,
may
but
rent
they're
these, but
against
they're
our
not,
ordinance. We have not been able to enforce it. The
they're
code
not
enforcement
dwellings.
officer doesn't think that our ordinance is clear enough for him to enforce.
650 square feet isn't clear enough?
Well, how do you prove that they're year round?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Then now we gotta get lawyers and we've gotta take them to court.
Well, that's why
We have to think,
we have
that's
to
what we need
change
to do, we
one
need
of our
to think about
definitions.
this.
We changed one of our definitions.
Well, what we have to
people.
do is define year round.
Well, we
That too.
defined dwelling, we changed the definition of a dwelling unit to include that it is insulated and utilities, to give it a more descriptive definition of what.
And then
Because-
year
So it's
round,
gotta be
so they meet that
600,
definition.
but
So, because a
do
lot
we
of these,
require a dwelling unit to have insulation?
if it's going
If
to
I'm gonna
be,
build a
If
house,
it's year
yes.
round,
the
it's
last
year
I
round.
knew,
if
the
it's
only,
year round.
if I was gonna build a house, the last I knew in our ordinance, I'm dating myself, to get an occupancy permit, I needed running water,
yeah,
some type of septic system.
but the state of New Hampshire has regulations
That's
now.
like safety codes for the
No,
fire
There are
department.
they
building
also, for
codes.
the insulation, the
When
house,
did that come in?
I think though the town of Tilton has to adopt that, have we?
well,
Yeah, normally they're not mandatory.
there's one out now for the insulation, that you have to have X amount of insulation in your home.
But is it mandatory, do we have to adopt it?
Well, Joe always insisted they had to produce their paperwork.
Yeah, but still, is it mandatory?
I don't know.
Usually we have to
I can't
adopt them, just like the district adopted
Yeah,
those codes.
but I know it was always enforced before, whether it is now or not, because they wouldn't give them a building permit if they didn't have that.
Yeah, but you can't enforce something that isn't
Well,
a
for
town
now, for
ordinance.
Dennis's purposes, the board, you want me to send 3 Maples a letter with a
Yes.
copy of our ordinance, and I can also give them information about spring cleanup?
Yes, no, that's a
No?
business.
Okay, and then I should send him a list of who our licensed haulers are.
Mhm.
Now, should we do that for, just to be equitable to South Bay?
Yeah, South Bay.
Yeah.
And is there
Yeah.
someone else that we're having trouble with like that? South Bay and 3 Maples, we know.
Right.
I don't remember what the
Who's the other one?
I don't know what the
Ideal.
Normandy is called
What
now,
about Ideal?
but is Normandy, what used to be
I have a
Normandy,
list
are they
here of the
year-round?
ones that were,
Which one used to be Norman?
By the causeway.
which have
Aren't those
exceeded the
condos,
limits.
the
okay?
cottages themselves?
On
Is that
the-
roadway
know.
now, you mean?
Who's
The
exceeded the
roadway?
limits?
On the
Roadway.
east side,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Are those
Winter
condos, those
Circle
cottages?
Auto,
Pretty sure the
No, they're
condo.
which is right at the bottom of the hill,
Yeah,
by
rentals.
the,
The building itself is condo, right?
Lockmere,
yes,
right across the street from
Roadway
the,
is not
Hertz
condo.
rental.
No.
Okay,
There's
They
a
were one.
hotel, motel.
There was,
See, I thought.
342
Catherine, can I
Lancaster
log you
Road,
out?
Condo type
Oh, absolutely,
Three
yeah, I'm
Maple
done, thank you.
Cottage.
Thank you, Joyce.
Jagear Auto Wholesalers, which is in
Yes.
between the trailer and
Right.
the Pirate Cove,
yeah,
South Bay, and Dr. Ware,
okay.
The vet.
the vet, okay?
They're notorious for huge
Uh,
piles of trash.
Then on the
So
west
we should
end,
send notices to all of these.
it was Orbit Satellite here on Main Street, which had
Yes.
a lot of
Cardboard,
cardboard, okay? 276 Main Street, which is the ideal hall. And I don't know, because they all piled it up over here by the tanning salon,
yeah,
but there was quite a few bags there. No, I don't know if that
was the whole building.
was the whole building or not.
And then that's where
Right.
they just
They,
piled
they
it.
just pile it there. But, you know, out of the businesses, you know, we've got about 100 businesses in town that we don't pick up at, approximately. Which was surprising to me.
Hey Gus,
Okay,
But I think we
so
should just-
we should send letters.
who
On the
owns the
other,
roadway?
on the other topic of,
Do you know the address?
trash picking up,
It'll take me a minute.
I brought it up last night at the selectmen's meeting, and we said we'd bring it up today.
Barrels in the road?
When they're picking up the trash, they're leaving the barrels in the road, and they're significantly in the road. They're not on the side of the road, they are in the road,
Yep.
standing up.
Okay, I'll talk with Mark on that.
And when I, from Maple Court to Cedar Street, to High Street, crossed over, as I crossed over, of course, I looked down Chestnut Street and Prospect Street, I could count at least 25.
Okay.
Significantly off the road, 6 feet off the side of the road,
Yeah,
into the road.
Okay, yeah,
And I just said, it was an unusual day yesterday. It was really out, a lot of trash barrels, still standing straight up. I
Yeah.
mean, they weren't
yeah.
It
just
wasn't,
thrown
it
over.
wasn't that the wind blew them into
Well,
the
right,
road.
Right.
but-
Yeah.
They
okay.
were definitely
Yeah,
dropped
no,
there.
I'll talk with Mark on that, that's
All
no
right,
problem, yeah.
that would be great. Because there was a lot more coming towards here.
Right,
Right.
okay, the next thing is, thinking next week, okay, we're gonna bring back our complement of dumpsters at the transfer station, metal, shallow, household burnables,
I'm ready.
okay?
Oh, Joe will be thrilled to hear
Then the
that.
following, first part of May is our spring cleanup anyway, so,
Right.
okay? The 98 GMC that we have, that we
Mm-hmm,
replaced,
yep,
what I like to do is I like to put that outside the road with a for sale sign on it, see if we can sell it
We
privately,
talked about
We
okay?
talked about that very thing.
at the budget committee.
Because, okay,
no, last night.
the state auction isn't until, I think, the first or second week in May.
Right.
So,
Might
let's,
as well,
let's,
yeah.
why
What are we
not?
gonna put for a
Right.
ticket on it?
What's it worth?
$5 million.
I'm gonna
No, we
shoot for
wanna sell it.
3,200 on
Gus,
the
I
side of
found
the
it.
road.
With a plow.
With the
Yeah.
plow?
With the plow,
Yeah.
that is correct, yeah.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
It's
It's a reasonable price, probably, right?
Yeah,
It's been well maintained by the gentleman at
Yeah.
the transfer station.
yeah. Yeah, so I'll just put it up, see what we can do,
Alright.
Right.
okay?
If it doesn't go when the auction comes around,
Exactly.
What would you expect to get for that at auction?
It depends on the crowd, Joe, okay, and who's interested.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing. If there was
It's the wrong time of
two
year
or
for a
three
plow
down,
truck,
it
right?
is, but it's still, you know, it's usable during the summer,
it's a
okay?
big truck.
Sure. Still a truck.
You know, if you had 3 or 4 people there that were interested, you might get 3,200.
Mhm.
Right.
You may get 25.
Mhm.
Now, the 84 Ford that we took down there, dump truck, I had no idea that we would get $10,000 for that truck.
Okay.
But it was in the fall, someone from Mass bought it, they wanted to use it to plow, and $10,000 we had.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, I guess it's right, yeah. You know, so it depends on the crowd, who's interested, yeah. But it isn't something that you know, I wouldn't want the board to say, we've gotta get $2,500. No, no.
Well, hopefully we'll get more than 25.
That's correct, right.
But, you know.
So, okay, we'll do that. Pine Street Bridge, and I think we're all aware that there are some chips on the wing walls.
There are, yes.
Chips, we're calling them?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, chips,
The
yeah.
corner's going on one
Corners.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like you got banged together or
And I
what.
think what happened is when they picked it. But I'm just, I just wanna be sure that we're, you know, we're gonna hold some money back down to see how this is gonna be resolved, okay? I
Yeah.
think he's been paid up to date.
I think we need to hold some
And
money
I-
down,
and I-
'cause that's
I
not a
told-
chip, that's,
It's-
to me, that's
If it was
broken.
on the inside, okay, that wasn't exposed, then I would say fine, but if you bought a new car and you had scratches down the side, you'd be a little disturbing. That's the appearance of the car, you're gonna look down the side, okay? And you can see these from the north end of the bridge,
Mhm.
they're visible, so I think we ought to address that.
Yep.
But, you know, I would've thought that Holdings engineering people, okay, would've came to the town and said, hey.
Oh,
we've
they
got-
said-
Just a
Picture.
trouble
Oh, they
and
did.
some
Yeah.
cement.
So they, well, that's not gonna hold, Joe.
No?
No,
You're gonna
no.
use a mastic, don't you?
You'd have to use something, or,
It's like I told Dennis yesterday, when you finish concrete, you're working up cement, and you're working stones down, and you're basically working up a seal. And concrete is porous no matter what you do, but you're working up a better seal than if you just bull floated it and walked away.
right,
Once they got rid of that seal, if you will, that's as porous as it can be.
Right.
It's just gonna soak up water. So basically what they left us is maintenance. You're gonna have to go in there and seal it.
Right.
You can use mastics, you can use
Why aren't,
elastomerics, you can use
why
Well,
aren't
they'll
they
be the
doing
ones
that?
sealing
this
it,
guy
no
in the
doubt.
jar, which I hate.
yeah.
But you're essentially, that's all gonna come out, it's still maintenance, you'll be putting that on at least every spring. But you're gonna have to keep that
You're
seal.
the concrete person, so what is the repair for that? Take it out, replace it?
Realistically, Kath.
That would
Yeah.
make me happy. Well, you either accept the fact that you now have a maintenance for as long as the bridge is there, or you replace it.
Well, why aren't we replacing it? Is there a reason we didn't say replace it? You chewed it up?
First thing I
Well,
saw,
like
it
I
was
said,
in
it's-
there and there was a bridge on top.
Yeah. There's nothing to prove what I have just said to you about concrete. I can only tell you that in the concrete world after 30 years, that's what concrete people will tell you.
My
So-
idea to dress it up was to maybe try to smooth it with a grinder. Take out some of the real bad sharp
But that
edges.
doesn't address the
That does not-
porous in
That
it.
does not address the porous, that's
And if
correct,
we have
yes.
to maintain it every single year, we get out there and seal it every year for the life of that bridge for the next 40, 50 years, I would just as soon go
Yeah, they should
make
put in
them,
a new
When
one.
you
make them
walk
repair
on,
it.
when you walk
replace it.
on outside concrete work, patios,
Yeah.
sidewalks,
Yeah.
etc., and you see the things, and people say salt did that. It's not that the salt eroded the concrete. What happens is it melts the snow and ice, and the water then gets to soak into the concrete, because sidewalks and patios don't receive that type of finish a floor is gonna receive. They're bull floated, once over lightly, and then you broom them.
Right.
So they're very porous. That water soaks in and freezes in the surface.
Causes
Expands.
that
And
spot.
pop-outs, they're called pop-outs. The concrete pops out. Most people are led to believe the salt is eating the concrete. That's not the fact. That's the same type of thing that could happen to that bridge. Water weeps in there, freezes in there.
And it'll
It-
crack and eventually
Yeah,
crumble.
it can crack. and-
What makes the concrete just all of a sudden just crumble though, over the years, just crumbles?
No protection.
Turns into
Just
dust.
crumble,
Yeah.
there's different causes for that. When the concrete was poured, it could have been allowed to freeze. Too much, water evaporator in it. But when you pour concrete, depending on your job, you can put in reducers, you can put in accelerators, depending on which way you're going. That can cause it too much calcium chloride in the mix, which helps speed up the set. That's probably the most notorious. there's too much calcium chloride, because you want fluoride, get the hell out of there.
So over a 50-year period, it'll just,
If you've got concrete deteriorating, concrete theoretically reaches hardness after about 28 years or so, 25, 28 years. After that, 50-year-old concrete is gonna crumble. It's deteriorated, because concrete is porous. So if you're outside concrete, if you're not protecting it,
What about, do you seal it every year, would you, that extend its life?
yeah, if you have a garage floor,
Right.
sidewalks, patios, then there is a process of maintenance where you seal it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not every year, but every other year, at least, minimum. But this bridge, it's vertical, so I'd be more concerned if it was horizontal on the deck. But it's vertical, but still,
the water's coming this way too.
you look at those chips and there's little ledges in them.
Right,
The water can get in there,
Who
but you
did
probably wouldn't see the damage for 15 or 20 years.
Right.
But nevertheless,
we know about it now.
it's
Right.
not,
We're setting the.
it's not the highest quality, it's not what we paid for.
Right, it's
Right.
not, it's certainly not, it's not something that we should be leaving for the selectmen that are gonna be here 15 to 20 years from now, knowing full well that we
Yeah.
We
What
have
was wrong
this
with those
issue.
people?
If we know it going in, we'd be remiss to not address it the
Right.
best
Absolutely.
manner possible.
Unless you're willing to accept a maintenance schedule for it.
No, I'm not.
But I guess I would look at it and get Holding's idea, okay, what their suggestion is.
It's not what we paid for,
And it's-
bottom line.
Right.
Exactly.
Forget
That's
about
correct.
what,
When that was
Buy
set in,
something
it
with
should have
chips
been,
in it.
it
Yeah.
should have been taken out
They
at
should
that
not
time.
Right,
have-
immediately,
they
they
should
should
not
have never
have let
set that in there, it was
Right.
like that when they put it in.
Right, right.
oh, it was
Like-
like that before they put it in?
It
Yeah.
didn't just fall
It
off.
arrived that way,
It
didn't it?
arrived that way.
They should have said.
They should have
"You
rejected it.
Right,
Take it back.
exactly.
They should have rejected
Oh,
it.
I
Said it
thought
was
it was
okay, they did.
The
They
damage
should
was
take
when
it
they
back out.
picked it.
They
and
should
My
set it in.
understanding, do
They
we
should
have the
reject it.
Holden
They should have
information?
rejected it.
I believe, didn't we,
Right?
didn't we
Who
read it in the
precast it?
Holden information that it arrived that way, that the chips?
We're out of it when it arrived.
Have to go pull the letter.
Who
and-
Yeah,
precast it?
I thought, wasn't it Mitchie?
Mitchie Corp
yeah,
did?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know them, call them up and give them what for.
As soon as I saw the pictures, I went up there immediately, and there's no cement anywhere around there, it's just the culvert's there, and it's obviously, it got banged into something.
How much?
It didn't just fall out.
Oh, no, no.
It got
It was either
smacked around
picked or slammed into another one, okay,
Yeah,
when they were
yeah.
loading
on
or
the edge of the
unloading
truck
or, right,
or whatever.
exactly, yeah.
Could
So
happen.
maybe it
Could.
didn't happen at Mitchie, maybe it happened when they put them on the turkey thing.
Yeah.
Could've,
I guess we
yes.
don't really know.
yeah. Yeah.
But regardless, they should have never set it in
There was
place,
an
knowing.
explanation when the pictures came from Holden, there was an
Yeah.
I can't remember what it says, Joyce is getting the
Yeah, I
information.
could have sworn
Yeah,
that.
normally
it
Mitchie will
arrived- That was
reject.
the way it was received.
Normally
Should've been
Mitchie will
rejected.
reject that
I
stuff
agree.
when they
It's-
unmold them.
It's really not what we paid for,
Yeah.
and it should be.
Mitchie usually rejects them.
And the rest of the face of the wing walls and stuff like that, they look nice.
They looked fine,
They
because I
look
went
nice.
in the culvert.
Right, yeah,
Got
they
wet
look
doing
nice.
it.
So
They
what
look nice.
happens if we say to them, you know concrete, what happens if we say, no, it needs to be replaced, that means the wing walls, everything has to be redone? Do you have to break that apart now, or?
Yep.
That's not
So it's a
on us,
whole
though.
new
That's
box
on
culvert?
them.
Not the box,
The
Just
box
that.
the
is
wings,
fine, it's
the
just
wing.
that one, it's just the one side, right?
one
Yeah.
wing on
Yeah.
the west
Now,
side.
I don't
So
know how
one
they,
wing-
I don't know how they came.
How
Is
do
that wing both
detach-
sides one piece, or is it two pieces locked in the middle? Is there a key way for that
Right.
to lock in the middle?
That's what my question
So
is,
they
is
only
there,
have to replace one side of the wing?
Boy, I
It's
was
not in here,
saying,
I filed it, but-
looking at that, there's gotta be two pieces. Cause you couldn't expand out 40 feet and pick that wing wall with a cutout in the middle for that box and set that in there, I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't
I would
think
think
either, but
it'd be
I've seen
awful.
some pretty fantastic
Yeah,
things in concrete.
But I haven't
Especially
looked
out
at it
west.
close enough to look at that.
My
but
guess is there's a key way and it
yes,
locks.
yes,
No.
right.
So all they'd have to do is excavate that one side of that one wall out,
Mhm.
unkey it.
Do you know?
Right.
After discussions with our concrete expert, we have discovered
Well, unfortunately, like I said, it's
requisitions.
really an opinion, that, unless you wanna pay for specs. although I
Well, I'm
probably
not a
could get-
concrete
I
guy,
could
but my
probably get
experience
Bob
with
Gillis
concrete is if
for
you
me.
start out with chips, in this kind of climate, you're gonna end up with cracked and broken and crumbly cement in no time at all. Compared to if it was solid,
Are the.
Well, we
Right to
we
start.
paid
I don't
for,
know.
we did not pay for what we got.
Right.
You know, we paid for
We paid
something
for-
that was not
for a
cracked.
good product,
This is the
okay?
acquisition dated
You know,
January
we feel that the
31st.
product, okay, there's damage to the product,
we should
which is
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
involve maintenance on the town end,
and a
and
shorter
what is.
lifespan for the bridge.
They should have asked us before they put it
Put it
in there.
Yeah.
Did the engineered specs call for a certain mix?
In the concrete,
Mitchie's
no?
Yeah.
concrete,
yeah,
yeah,
yes,
there'd be
yeah,
a certain mix,
yes.
yeah.
Yes,
Did we not get that certain mix? There's no way of telling.
I think I
suppose.
read it in the specs.
I don't have a
Because I had a
problem.
I think I had a conversation.
Well, I'm
with him
wondering
about-
if this was caused because they kind of cut corners as opposed to.
with
Not
the mix,
Mitchie.
no,
No,
no.
Mitchie-
Looks
even
like it
said
was
so.
mishandled.
Yeah.
Mitchie
Just
is
from
noted
looking
for
at it,
how-
it looks like it was mishandled.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to hit this thing with a big hammer or smack it into
Well, I
something
mean, when they
else, but-
craned it onto the
No, I
truck,
can
it
chip
could
it
have.
with
That's
Left
very
into
possible,
something.
yes, or taking it off, no,
Corners
that's,
chip easy,
that's what I
Is that
think.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like it was banged pretty hard.
I can walk up to anybody's foundation with a 20-ounce S-wing and
Oh,
have that
wow.
torn,
Yeah,
it'll be
but-
gone.
This is damaged. Have
It
you
is
gone over there and
damaged,
looked
yeah.
at it in person? It looks like it got smashed pretty good.
Mitchie's concrete is noted for being really, because they use a lot of cement. Even when they ship it out for floors and footings and walls,
That's a good thing.
it's a good thing. You order Person's Concrete, they've replaced some of their cement with ash. You talk about
Recycle.
sticking your hands in concrete. You stick your hands in Person's Concrete, you wanna wash them off pretty good. I used to be able to hold my front hand in there all the time. Feel the burn.
Yeah, we haven't received a cut sheet yet from Mitchie. That was his cover letter and that was his monitoring report.
Where's the picture though? He sent one,
They're right there, Ron has them. This is from their construction monitoring.
no, about the,
Hello, sir. You look like
Right
you're looking
here.
for somebody.
The last
for
two
the lady
pictures,
that's got some zoning rights for me.
Right around the corner.
last two pictures that show the culvert interior and the chipped concrete
Oh, you
on
got
the
that one?
southerly
And
head
then this
wall.
is,
Um,
these are some,
Jesus, that's
Bridge
on the
rail.
box.
See, that
not
doesn't
the
look
wing.
like the wing wall, that looks like
That's
the
the
head wall of
box.
the culvert.
that's
the
the
culvert.
box, that's what I said,
That's not the wing, that's the box.
that's the
I
box,
Yeah.
so the
I
whole
don't know
box
the,
is gotta be done.
Technical thing, but it's definitely the culvert. It's not the.
Funds have been
Mitch's
withheld
right
until
there.
repairs to the south head wall are complete.
They're gonna
Additional
patch
funds
it.
have been recommended to be withheld pending completion of the final site cleanup.
They'll patch it.
Yeah.
I can almost tell you what they'll put on
can we email Peter and say, has Mitchie sent you the cut sheets yet?
I'm not recommending that be patched, I think that should be replaced. I think we should go after that to be replaced.
Now you're talking about starting the job all over.
Starting the job all
Who's
over
gonna
is
pay
a
for
couple of
that?
months. We shouldn't be paying for something like this,
No,
this
we
isn't
shouldn't.
what we paid for. This is not what we
Are
paid
they,
for.
is Hiltz or Mitchie bonded to cover that?
It should be.
Well, Hills
Hills has a performance bond.
as a performance bond,
Right,
but we have nothing from Mitchie.
right.
Well, Mitchie is a subcontractor
They're a vendor of the,
Right.
that they hired to, you know what, because we hired the contractor, they hired the sub.
They had the I guess the first thing would be
Right
to
there.
find out how this happened.
Right.
Was it
It's the
delivered
same.
this way? Was it
Right?
okay when it was
It's the
delivered
outside
and it
edge.
happened when they set
This is
it?
the other end. It's actually.
How
that
would
corner.
somebody
Right, but
put
still,
this
there's a
in
seam, so it's-
and call this good work? I don't understand
be
that.
kind of embarrassing.
I don't understand somebody putting this in place and then doing all the work all around it and calling that good work. I'm sorry, but that's
Put
shameful.
another one in there.
Yeah,
And if they wanted to do all that other work all around it and spend that money, knowing full well that we're not gonna accept something like
It
this,
was just one little.
that's not on us.
no, exactly.
Well, we should
exactly.
call, get the
Right.
engineer in here because he's
Right.
supposed to be monitoring that.
That's correct. He was supposed to monitor that. And at that time, when that was a problem like that, what he probably thought was, well, we're just gonna go back in and patch it, okay? But he should have alerted the town that the product has got some damage to it.
They
I
should
would
have
ask-
shown it to us before they put
Before
it
they-
in there.
right,
It makes you
exactly.
wonder,
Called you
did
or
it
somebody
get
and say, hey,
chipped
Dennis,
when they
check
were
this
putting
out.
this piece in?
Does
Right.
that work for you?
Right, exactly. That's, yeah, right.
I'll
So
bet
I
you
would
that
ask
got
that-
chipped.
I would ask that we have the engineer come before us,
Right.
and then you do your research on your side, and then by the time the engineer finally gets to meet with us,
Mhm.
we can meet together on this.
Right.
Okay,
Better
Is
than
that-
concrete, huh, Cal?
does that, satisfy everyone?
Especially, they need to be told, don't do anything more till this is resolved.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I don't want them paving the darn thing.
No.
Paving it,
no,
railings,
no.
there's no
Job
sense
stops.
putting more on there.
And I can't believe that the engineer
And you might
wasn't
even say
there
chapter
when
15
that box
groundwater.
was set.
The engineer
Should have been there
when
when that
was
box
set.
was set, because that is the most
I didn't
crucial
know
point of the
that
whole
this
And
thing.
he seems to think that that was satisfactory? I don't think so.
Oh, the last two.
Like you
No.
say,
So
the
the
scratch all the
entire
way down the
chip
side of the
something on
car.
the side.
Right.
A
You
lot
know,
of people don't know.
Yeah,
And they-
and they
you
would
know,
patch
no,
that,
they would
Joe.
patch
They
it.
would patch it, it would look okay,
Yeah,
but in years to come.
I
you're
can
gonna
patch
have-
that
you're
so
gonna
you'd
have-
never
You're
know
gonna
it
have a
was there.
problem with that.
Well, this year, next year, and maybe
Trouble
5
is, I
years.
know the patch is gonna come off.
Mm,
Right,
mm.
and you
That's where it's
know,
weak.
15, 20 years, we're gonna have issues with that with the town, correct?
Well, maybe before then.
Mhm.
All right, that's all I need to hear.
Sooner or later,
That's
that's
all
where
I
it's
need to
gonna
hear,
start.
that if the
Yeah.
job is gonna, if we're gonna pay this money to fix this bridge with taxpayers' money, and we're gonna have an issue with this 10 or 15 years down the road, it's not acceptable to us. This bridge should be lasting us 30, 40, 50 years, and that's not,
Right, with no maintenance,
with no maintenance.
right,
Well,
exactly,
and that's the key.
that's
We
the
should
key.
not have to go in there and
Right.
patch the face
Right,
No,
in
right.
2
no.
or 3 years.
Exactly.
spring,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Let's see if we can get him in on the 28th and answer our questions that we have.
Right.
Meanwhile, you can go ahead and
Mhm.
do your research
Yeah.
to see when that happened. You know,
Mhm.
maybe you can talk to Todd, and
Mhm.
I know
Yeah,
we can do our research around
okay,
the engineer.
yeah.
Okay,
Uh, We had a good little discussion yesterday with DOT, Catherine and I did, for the resurfacing on Silver Lake, not Silver, but River Church Drainage in Lancaster. I think we made our point, I think they saw our point, and
I think we scared them.
some of them that they were surprised that we had knowledge of, okay? So, a roundabout way, I think we're gonna get what we want, to a certain degree. We're not coming out of there with letting them do everything that they wanna do.
Yep.
Okay? And I think that's all that needs to be said, right, Kathy?
Yeah, they had what, half a dozen communities? We're the only town represented.
Yeah, yeah.
So you really could bend your ear for quite a while.
Well, we made some points, Dennis made great points to them. And, like you said, they adjusted.
Yeah.
My only concern is, I told them last night, is the shim on the remainder of Lancaster Hill Road that wasn't part of the sewer project. And it's because the road is so bad, it's Band-Aid.
Right, yes.
And the pipe guy said, yep,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
DOT
Yeah.
guys did, but the
What's
pipe
that,
guy said, yeah.
what are they gonna do though? They haven't got the money to completely
Oh,
rebuild
no,
Lancaster
no, they
Hill.
have not.
No.
I wish,
You know,
but,
but the
please
thing-
don't feel sorry for them.
what, for Lancaster Hill?
No, the state.
Oh,
What
no,
if-
I'm not
what
feeling
if-
sorry, I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah.
They have no money.
Yeah.
I know they have no money.
What the concern is that what it'll lead eventually to them wanting us to do a road project and
Right.
take over the road as a town road.
Like saying,
Picture that.
Like Samerton is doing, and that's costing them, what's their project, 3 million?
something like that.
Yeah. A 1/3, 2/3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we, you know,
I used to live on Woodman Road, as you know. I used to
lived
travel that
across.
Y road every day. That road is the same now as when I was a kid. I know that they paved it from, they put a nice layer of concrete all the way from the Winnisquam Bridge to the driveway at the end of Steel Hill.
Concrete.
I was gonna say,
Asphalt, all the way up.
to the end of Steel Hill.
That's right. It cost
But
them
not the
a
other way.
lot of money, and 10 years ago or 12 years ago, whatever it was. And it's now, you would never know they did it. And no matter what they do to that road,
What
unless
they
dig
did
down, and I mean really do it right, in 10 years you'll never know they did it.
What they did at the beginning of Upper Bay Road is horrific in terms of, especially if you're coming down Hunkin's Pond Road and you want to turn on to Upper Bay. It's like they narrowed it and
Oh,
put
I don't like that
crook
corner
right
at
in it.
all. I don't
Oh,
like
they
it.
took the circle out.
Yeah.
They took the Y out.
That's
Yeah.
stupid.
But
But,
be that as it may, the surface of the road in 10 years, no matter what they do or what they spend now, I'll bet you, will be the exact same as it is today.
Well, they're supposed to
Well,
be doing
our
a reclamation, aren't they?
Our concerns need to
Good
be
luck.
that that is the state's purpose, is for the towns to take over the Class 2 state aid roads.
Right,
Tilton has a large number of them,
right.
and I know that the state thinks that Autumn Drive is a town road, but it technically is not. It did not go through the proper process. It is technically a state aid road. I have all the documents to prove that, hands down, you know. I know we've been doing all the maintenance on it. And I talked to Mark Morrill about it a few years ago. I was gonna have a heart attack. But we don't want those roads.
No.
We don't, I'm not in favor of going into a $3 or $4 million
I have
project because
been-
they do not do their summer maintenance.
I have
So
been
the
told
issue
by,
is-
So what's the issue? Let's
The
not-
issue is somehow we have to make them do their summer maintenance or document the fact that they are not.
Right, right.
They're gonna do that ditching on part of Lancaster Hill Road.
Mhm.
Well, again,
That's not all their summer maintenance.
What-
What's
not the whole
entailed
road.
in their summer maintenance? What's entailed besides ditching and culvert?
Culverts,
Okay,
catch
that's most
basins,
important.
right, is your ditch lines,
okay.
right.
So the road doesn't, the road
So the
doesn't-
brush cutting, the ditch lines?
That's right, brush cutting would be included in that, Pat, yes.
Okay.
Everything to
Tree
keep the-
removal, guardrail
Yeah.
installation.
I have a question for you.
some of them have to be recrowned and
Well, that's only gonna be
You know,
through
the,
total
The
reclamation.
culvert that's just down from our mailbox going down that way where the big hole sinkhole
Right,
came.
right.
They filled that up and now I'm getting a big sinkhole on the other side of the the road. So I'm assuming that the whole culvert itself has just rusted
rotted.
away and
That
it's
is
gone.
correct. That's
you're talking
correct,
about
right.
the one down by your pond?
Yeah,
No.
well, not that far
Did they
down.
just replace that like 4
No,
years
On
ago?
the
the other
one-
side of the driveway was
It just-
one day.
Going towards your house,
Mhm.
along the front of my stone wall, there's a culvert that runs across the street. Now, we had a big sinkhole, it all fell in, and it looked like the whole road was gonna collapse, because I don't
Because
think
when they
this-
did the culvert job,
the culvert was by
About-
my mailbox.
well, they did a culvert, I think they did a culvert job that's closer to the pond, the outflow of the pond.
They
And
did
that
one down
was,
there,
that was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years
Yeah.
ago.
but now this one's in
They
the
took all
middle.
they took excess gravel that they had
Yes,
and they put it in my driveway and graded it out. They said, well, we hope you don't mind. I said, hell no, if you've got any more, bring it in.
Right,
but
right.
now it's the one in between, the mailbox and the other one, but it's, now I notice, the yard on our side has started to fall.
Oh, no.
So, you know, what I worry about is a big semi-trailer truck coming up the road and then the whole road just goes.
Mhm, mhm.
Well, that's why it's so important for them to maintain their ditch lines and their culverts,
Right.
to keep the water flowing away from the road,
Off the road.
not
Right.
underneath it or in it.
Right.
So,
I asked Wayne Roswell yesterday if they had a regular maintenance schedule for their class. Did you see the look on his face?
Oh, I did.
The class
Yeah.
2 state aid
Oh,
road,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
in the
That's
town of
enough.
Tilton.
They do not,
And it was like a 10-second
Uh,
pause.
right,
No,
Okay.
don't talk Mark.
right,
Or the man upstairs, he
yes,
said.
yeah.
So
And
it's,
we even asked him about,
How
well,
far up is the man upstairs? Is that Mark?
That's Mark
That's-
I
Morrow.
think you
Mark
clearly-
Morrow is in charge of District 3 in Guilford.
Yeah, yeah.
What do
You
get?
go beyond
So-
him, you're in Concord.
Should I start writing District 3 and just let them know that the culvert appears to be washing out
Yes,
even more?
yes,
There's a
definitely.
process you go through, and it has to do with insufficiencies.
Safety.
And you
Safety.
sign it, it's in the RSA's, I have it somewhere.
Well,
It's in the RSA on the road, under the roads, I think.
I think the funniest thing though is when the sinkhole first appeared, and I mean, you could look down, it was pretty deep.
Mm,
State stopped by and put a orange cone there.
mhm.
Oh, well, there you go.
Every time a car or the truck would go by, especially semis, it would just blow over.
Right,
The state would come by and stop and put the cone back over the hole.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That went on for a couple of weeks.
But I think the safety issue is your first step to go.
Yeah.
You feel that it's a safety problem, okay, and address the letter, then you've always got that as a document that
Right.
you've submitted to.
And you can bet that the more of those complaints that come in, because I don't think those roads are gonna come back. As, you know, usually you
Yeah.
gotta wait, the
Mm.
frost comes down, they
Right.
come back. Well,
Right.
each year, they come back little and little and little.
They
and
come-
Pretty
yeah.
soon,
I have a
they're
question.
pretty well failed.
Doesn't the state of New Hampshire collect gasoline taxes and tolls and what have you?
Now
Put
we're
it
talking about
into
the
a-
highway trust fund, you're gonna send me over the edge.
That-
Well, I hope to,
That's a block grant.
because I would like to know why they keep stealing the money from that fund. Why don't they use it for what it's
Because they
intended to?
can, that's why,
Yeah.
they can. They
But
just
a lot
do
of that,
it.
a lot of that money, Joe, is in the southern part. Look what they're doing down by Londonderry, coming out of Mass,
Oh,
with
yeah.
3 lanes and millions of dollars
Yeah.
that they've spent there.
Well,
That's-
to get
that's
the
what it is.
Massachusetts people to come up and buy cigarettes for cheap money, I'm thinking that if she loses her car in a hole in the road,
Mhm.
that's gonna cost
But we
them.
like the Massachusetts people coming up and spending money.
Okay,
We like that to happen.
Yes, yeah.
We wouldn't
okay.
survive without them. You wanna have some
Exactly.
fun, you call up Concord, you tell them you want an accounting of how the monies from the highway trust fund.
Will
Are
they
you-
actually do it, or do I
I
have
got
to
one,
gotta
it took
chase
me
me
3
around?
years, it was, I mean, it was a joke, it was like, I don't have enough time in my lifetime to look at this thing, it was a joke.
And they did that on purpose.
Of course they did.
It's no
Right.
different than when they used to balance the state's budget with Medicaid money.
The crux of this conversation is that you can bet that before this year is over, next year, they're gonna be coming to us with a road proposal to take them over.
Yeah, when they're done with Samerton, they
Because
come
they
back
won't
down.
fix them.
No,
No.
Will
no,
not fix
no.
them.
But what about, you know, it's like this past winter, Colby Road, going down that incline and around, was so bad that in the car, maybe a truck could do it, but in the car, you could not travel down one lane because of the heaves were so high. You had to go over to the other lane and
Sure.
half on the shoulder to
I
get down
went
that
down, I
road.
went down there one of
Well,
those
I
days.
hope I'm
what's
still
wrong
on the
with
board
this
of
road?
But I
When
mean,
that
the
happens.
miles of road that the
Like I
state
said, we
has,
monitor the
okay,
fact, and I am gonna see Mark.
that
I am
we
gonna ask
have
him out,
in
right? He
town
has a meeting
Yeah.
scheduled for the Foster State Aid
to
Road.
do those roads
Document the
properly,
And who do we complain to?
you would look at
And then,
probably $25
you know,
million.
what we should do is take a ride around the roads,
Yeah, to do that.
notice culverts, things like that.
Well,
Ditching
take
that needs
pictures.
to be done, take
I've
pictures,
got a nice camera.
just document it.
Yeah.
And then, really, what I think it's gonna come down to is the town's gonna have to sue the state. If they try to force this into a road program, sue the state, block and make.
Bring it on.
They're
But why
state
would
roads,
we
the
ever
state is
agree
compelled to
to take-
maintain.
They're
Right.
such a mess.
I think that that would be such a misuse of our power here as
Yeah.
selectmen to our taxpayers. If we ever accepted the
Oh.
roads,
Oh,
ever
God, no.
accepted
I
the
would
roads.
not.
Not
As
while
long
I'm
as
here, I
I'm
won't.
sitting on this board, it ain't
No.
happening.
No.
Well, it's like
I
Silver
won't do
Lake
it.
Road,
Just
you
say,
know?
say to the state, bring it on.
That's a
Bring it on.
beautiful road. I live on Silver Lake Road,
The
and I
state's
gotta
going-
tell you, well, whatever, there's not a crack in it this spring.
Right now.
This spring,
They
it's,
completely redid that, including drainage.
That was a full
Dug it
reclamation,
down.
right?
they
But
dug
that
that
was the
thing down
reason
3.5, 4 feet, and there was little rocks
Yeah.
and big rocks and dirt and more little rocks.
Did you
And
see when
it
they took
is
the top off
gorgeous.
that?
Zoom, and so what they do is they get at the stop sign at the power station coming out of Belmont, and they rev their cars up, kids, right? Motorcycles, and they get going 70 miles an hour or so at 6 o'clock in the morning and try to jump the railroad track.
Really?
Yeah.
That's always been.
And you can hear them. You can hear them when they clear the tracks.
Wow.
Well, I get to hear them jump the road.
Jump,
my
jump the
mailbox.
frothy.
When they go past my mailbox, they hit that, it's so innocent looking, but,
In Daddy's car, right?
and the car goes flying. And then
And
you
you can
hear.
see all the impacts on the pavement when they
Yes.
bottom down.
If somebody gets
Trying to
killed on
rustle
that
through,
road,
it's
man,
terrible.
they'll
It's
get
like,
killed.
yeah, I wanna bottom out in front of a junkyard.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on.
And
Yeah.
that's really, I'm pretty much all set unless the
Oh,
board has
did you wanna
something.
go over this?
Oh, yes, we can.
Well, we never got to talk about it.
Okay.
You did all this beautiful work, we'd like to.
I didn't make any copies, but at least it gives us a breakdown of what we've spent the recycling on. Now, on
What's,
some of these here was,
Can I take that and make copies, Sandy?
sure,
you can use mine now.
I was gonna say, we all
Pat probably
got
would
one.
like a
Oh,
copy.
Oh, I got
I've
mine,
got
mine's
one.
upstairs.
I've got one, it's just having a different.
You want a copy, Catherine?
I got one upstairs, so, yep, I'll have one.
No, I'm not looking for that.
What is C and D?
Construction demolition,
Okay,
okay?
yeah,
Now, if you take, you look at the 510 and 575, on the C and D 510, okay?
yeah,
There was an expense there, that's sprinkling,
okay,
okay? Then if you go down to the wood on 57 and 510, that's sprinkling.
what am I looking
Wood must be on the other page,
for? 5, 7, 5, 10, I'm looking for the numbers you keep saying.
okay?
Wood, fibers,
Fibers,
wood, okay, back page.
back page, okay?
What's in line?
Yeah, there we go, okay,
Yeah.
all right, now I know where you're at.
Okay, those two dates, the 5/7 and the 5/10 were in our spring cleanup.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
And then for the fall cleanup, the 10/29, the 11/2s,
Yep,
those were in the fall cleanup.
right,
Then you have all of that in that sheet of your electronics. Okay? It will show you what we get for revenue.
oh,
what
on
our
electronics?
expenses. Yep. Back, I think it's second page, Sandy, second or third page. What we do for air conditioners, humidifiers, what
Yep,
it cost us, electronics, I think it was 12 cents a pound, okay?
So we got 12 cents a pound?
No, we paid
Stapled on the wrong.
12 cents a pound
Thank you.
to get rid of them,
mhm,
okay? Okay, we can go right down pretty good, pretty fast.
They use-
Batteries, okay,
Yep,
I had 910 pounds and I got 27 cents a pound, okay, which a revenue of $245.
all right,
C and D, like I said, the 510
costs us-
and the 11/2, the 510 was spring cleanup and the 11/2 was fall cleanup, okay, of our amnesty weeks.
yeah,
Uh,
but it ended up costing us $3,500 to get rid of it,
yes, it did.
okay?
Yes, it did, yep. Then we come down to commingle transportation, that's the commingles, that we bring the best way,
Yep,
okay?
I thought this stuff you got, you could turn in for an amount of money that they would pay you for your poundage or,
That's not until the co-op decides whether or not they're gonna put in a single stream plant,
okay,
okay?
all right. So until then, it's costing us more than it's worth.
It is costing us transportation to get rid
Have you
of it,
spoken
yes,
with Jim
but
Pressure?
I haven't yet, no.
I've been communicating with him, that we're gonna be having a meeting coming up here really quick, I think he has some news.
Yeah, okay. Then on the second page, okay,
Mhm.
where it says electronics, that's your TVs, computers, and faxes, okay? We paid 12 cents a pound, and we had a total of 8,600 pounds.
Yeah,
So it cost us $1,040, okay? And there was a transportation fee in there.
Yeah,
But how much did we take in revenue when we took all these
These are all
TVs and
springs.
computers?
I was nothing.
These are spring and
Nothing.
fall.
No
These are the
revenue.
amnesty one?
Yep. Because
Yes.
now
Wow.
you do charge, if I just say brought down a TV, you would charge me X amount of dollars to take
That-
it, right?
That is correct, other than the spring and the fall.
Right,
amnesty,
but even
yes.
in the spring and fall, you do charge for some things, don't you?
Mm,
I thought you
No,
did.
We don't take
no.
something.
We
Yeah,
don't.
some things we don't.
Well, I know
pay.
you don't, but I thought there was one year you were
Normally,
charging for
okay,
tires
the
or
computer,
something.
Well, there's a
computer
maximum
items,
of tires you can bring.
Bring.
If you
Right.
bring more than that, then you.
you will pay.
Okay,
The fibers, number 8 loose, that is your cardboard,
right,
okay, and you'll see revenues there.
all right.
Have to store your base.
And that just goes to help defray the expenses, right?
That is correct, Joe, yes. Yes,
Oh,
You did okay on scrap metal.
very well on scrap metal,
yeah,
yes.
$5,000.
Your Freon, these are refrigerators that we bring in, and we have to pay, to have them pumped, and then we scrap the, refrigerators. This is the number of propanes that we brought in, okay? And then you have your scrap metal, which is a revenue, very good revenue source.
Do we separate our copper out from this? Or are
I look at that,
people savvy
Catherine.
enough to
I
know to
look
throw
at,
it in
no,
there?
I look at that, okay, if there's a good sized piece, yes, we will take it out, okay?
You get significantly more
You've
for
got a
copper.
lot more for copper, okay? Am I gonna take a electric,
Strip wires?
strip wires or take them out of, something else, okay, that they're in? No, okay? But one thing that I am gonna do this year is your grills.
right,
The covers of your grills and the base of your grills that are aluminum and your sort of semi-cast, your older
Yeah.
ones,
Mhm.
we're gonna take them, we're not gonna put them in scrap metal this year. We're gonna put them, take them apart, put them in salt shed. Because there's some money to be made from them.
It's
okay?
worth taking them apart.
Yes, yeah.
Well, when the guy is there on Saturday morning,
Mhm.
he can sit there with a screwdriver
Sure.
and whatever.
Sure.
start whatever.
Yes.
well, it looks to me like though, until single string comes in, that this is really a loser. I mean, other than the fact that it keeps it out of the
Main
tonnage.
Street, that's
Right.
correct, yes.
Not
yes.
only that, but I know when I was a kid, a lot of these like old roads, they were littered with refrigerators and tires and,
But I haven't seen
and that's
that
gonna
much.
cost us, well, that's because we have amnesty days
Right,
too.
exactly, right.
Have you
To
been
roll down
down
Brown Ash
Pest
Hill.
House
You
Road?
know, tire,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
Well, I
been there for
think, you know,
years, years,
going,
years,
going
yeah.
up back in my woods, where I bring my dogs, you can see it coming up from the earth. There's little rusty little cans
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Oh,
Things
those are
that-
the old dump sites.
right,
Yeah.
they're all
I have
Every
them all
house,
back.
every
where
house
they,
used
where
to
they
have
used
their
to
own dump.
have their trash.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, back
they
in the
didn't have
ancient
dumps to
days, the
bring.
Yeah.
50s.
Well, you know, when
Oh,
we had
God,
our well
Catherine.
put in, they dug down about 5 feet from the well to the house to lay the lines in. And of course, it followed all the old buildings that went straight out, and that whole line all the way along, you could look at the layers of trash.
The old trash pit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, your
over the
house is of
years.
the age that
Well,
there was
like,
no dump.
right.
yeah,
Right.
well, like the, you know, the one book that we have, they had, in the wintertime, they just opened the window and threw the trash out.
The dump road.
And then the next year, they smoothed dirt over it.
Well, you lived there.
And that's the way they did it for years and years. So when the hole was dug, it's amazing, you can just look at the
Yeah, they
line.
don't,
Oh,
they
it was-
buried the garbage. Oh, you know,
These archaeologists would be all over that.
But also too, okay, you'll see a revenue of $7,300.
I saw that,
And the
yes.
expense was 14, so last year was $77,054 net revenue expense. But also into that, you have to include into that $7,000 is $2,700 for my rental boxes, okay? And also for hauling my burnables
Right.
through the summer, which I came up with $10,950
Yeah,
of total expense.
I mean, the only good thing, even though it's not in the black, it does reduce the overall tonnage that is
It does,
being
it does,
taken.
Yeah.
right. And also in my line items, okay?
Yeah.
in my budget, I've reduced them down because of the revenues that we are getting,
Yeah,
okay? I was able to do that.
yeah, but you may be getting revenues, but it looks like your expenses.
Yeah, but say in the last year, okay, in 2010 budget, I had $18,000 between recycle and demolition.
Right.
Okay? Now I reduced it down, and I think it's down to about 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the revenues that we are getting.
But now if the single stream goes in, then the expense of it should go way down because we're going closer, right?
We're getting the revenue, that is
Right.
correct, from our
Right,
home.
what we take
Yes.
over there,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes. Yep.
all right.
Okay, the next thing, I wanna talk, and it's a good thing that Dennis is here, because the exterminator is up at the Grange, and, Dennis was nice enough to come and cut a few branches away from they were covering over the Grange this morning. But as he was putting out those traps, and looking to find out where the problematic sites were that animals are getting into the Grange, there are quite a number of places in the foundation where there's holes, you know, where there's cement and stone mixed together, there's holes in the foundation where they can go underneath. There's probably half a dozen places on the foundation where it's significant where you could go in. I could probably fit the bottle in.
Mhm. Because of the rock foundation.
Because of the rock
Right.
foundation. So, in the fall, I'm wondering if we could just mix a cement and fix that, or no?
Well,
How
they
do you
also,
fix it?
I can tell you how we fixed ours, 'cause we have a
Cat down
big, that works.
We should have a
No.
Grange cat.
I'm not talking about animals, what I'm talking about is filling the holes.
Right, we used a
The animals are gonna
spray,
be
that
fixed.
expanding, you spray it in and it expands and
Oh,
fills
that
up the
foam?
hole,
Great
and
stuff
then it
or
gets
whatever.
hard.
Yeah,
And it's kind, it feels like concrete once it's dry, but it's, you know, and he just, cause we have to do that every couple of years, more mortar falls out and mice can get in. But it comes in spray can and you just, you know, with a long
This high, and you just-
I think I mix up some water and try
Yeah.
to fill it with water.
But it helps.
You get some Masco latex cement, you mix it up with SL1.
Yeah.
We used to call it milk,
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
that's the glue.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Then
then
just
put
water.
You
it
just put it on
Yeah.
there.
You treat it like mortar.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to make sure your stones are wet, so it doesn't suck the moisture out of what you're putting in there.
the,
Well, that's-
he
they make
doesn't
it with
recommend
a-
it to do it until the fall, because in that way the program is pretty well set in our, whatever we're trying to get out of there is.
You're gonna wanna do it before it gets cold, because
Mm.
that's when they start going
Well,
in.
Yeah,
late,
you know,
then,
late summer.
late summer, then,
Yeah.
but not,
September.
don't do it now, in other
No,
words,
no.
don't do
Do it
it
in
now,
August.
because we're trying to get
August,
the animals
September,
out of there.
Yeah, yeah, while there's still
They have a
good heat.
keystone mix.
And
It's
on
really
the-
good.
On the chimney, on the top, the flashing was, there was two big pieces of flashing just laying on the roof on it. And obviously that was a significant place where they were going in. He repaired the flashing and put it back up there.
Tar it?
And, no, it was very flexible.
No, I mean, did he tar it afterwards to seal the flash?
Yeah, with a liquid nail
You use liquid nail?
and silicone, to put it in, back up there again, but he said, you know, be aware that when, we've gone for the grant for New Hampshire, Preservation of Historic Buildings for the roof and restore it back to the, shingles and wood siding, to take the aluminum siding off, so when if that happens, which is a pretty good chance that it does, then we need to let them know so that they can take their one-way doors off of those places, that it would happen, but, so we have to keep an eye on it, because the foundation portion needs to be filled in those little places so that the animals don't get back in after the program is is done. And then, when the roof gets replaced, we need to make sure that the flashing around the chimney gets to be, well, they do that anyway, when they
And
replace
do
the
they have
roof.
like a screen thing over the chimney hole? Cause they'll come down that way too. That's how
I
we
don't
got
know if that's-
squirrels in our attic, they came right down through the chimney.
I don't know about that, but he said that on 2 places, they were getting in under the soffit.
Soffit, yeah.
Yeah,
And, on the Bernard side, there's a place under the soffit where it's actually right at the tip where it was hanging over, the wood underneath the metal roofing is just all like crumbled.
yeah.
So, just one spot, maybe a 3-inch board, where water was leaking through the roof.
Mhm.
And he said you can see that, so that's being repaired now
Yeah.
as we speak, and so that there won't be any entrance into there.
There should be a cap on the chimney to keep rain and snow from going down.
Yeah,
And animals. I
Well,
know,
the cap won't keep animals out. It's screened.
Well,
Yeah,
if
the
it's a
screen
screen cap,
Yeah,
I
right.
had
Dennis has to
a,
go back up and get a few more trees
Trees,
away out of there that are leaning up over back towards the outbuilding.
yeah,
And I think because they're leaning, he's gonna get the bucket loaded, have it a little bit more safe.
We got it in the budget.
Can we check the top of the chimney to see if we can get a cap on there, or
It's missing a couple bricks
it is?
at the very top.
yeah.
So should we look into getting,
Wouldn't hurt to get that chimney checked.
I have ermine and.
Wonder if that's a flu,
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you live in an upclass
Chimney,
neighborhood.
Well,
They're
yeah,
not
but
like
they fell
scared.
down my chimney and got my wood
You're
stuck.
being hopeful.
Yeah, that's
It's
not
like-
good.
what?
Joe
Royal
said, did
Jamaica.
you let him out? I said,
What?
well,
Well,
no, I said,
yeah.
don't
This
forget it.
flu-
I didn't know where it
Ladder,
was.
climb up on the roof
Probably
and look down the
handmade.
chimney.
Whatever it is, it's not good.
You know how they used to do that?
I don't think so, do you?
I don't think so.
my mother opened the door to the wood
Is it-
stove years ago
it
with a
was-
squirrel in it.
Yeah,
I don't think that
Could
this
be.
wasn't, it comes down in the kitchen, right?
Right,
And then they built the addition on after that.
right.
yeah.
Could
There
be.
might be a,
They used to make flues. I mean, they
Mm.
bring up a section and then
And
they coat
then,
the inside with
Right,
water, and then
right.
they come out and they coat the
Right,
inside with water
right.
and come out. But
But if it doesn't
nothing
have.
like
if
a
it doesn't-
solid tile.
Right,
Now they put the bladder down in there, they inflate it, they pour around it, they deflate the bladder, and you've got a flue.
Yeah,
You know, it's the same thing that they were making, but if you abuse your chimney and burn your fires too hot, you know what happens to that?
Well, right over on Chestnut Street, the house across the street from the church had 2 metal flues put down their chimney.
yeah, we did that, stainless steel.
yep, stainless steel,
Yeah,
right.
that's what we
They
put
were-
down.
Because they
ours.
had no flue liners
But it
in
looked-
those.
it
No,
was
they
existing.
didn't, we had
Right.
no flue liners
Right.
at all.
All there was the brick mortared,
Right.
Yeah.
okay, and that was it, and in a lot of the older houses,
Yeah.
the chimney went right up through the partitions from one floor to
this is
the
just
other, and.
gas.
That's how mine is.
Mm.
Starts in the basement. goes
this
down.
was not originally.
My
was
house
it?
was built in
I've
1850.
done
so
it.
long as
No,
it-
this
Oh,
was
how we
original.
dropped
wood
the
stove in
stainless
there.
It was a
steel
wood stove.
liner.
Yeah, well, I wanna get,
In the
I'd like to do the
1700s, they
2
didn't even know what
on
gas
kitty
was.
corners, so
I don't think you had a
I got one
fireplace.
for oil and one for.
So
pellet
what
stuff.
what
Well,
other
we have,
agenda
you know,
items
the
do we
big
have?
one and then
Two.
the
Okay.
heater
One in the
in the
non-pub.
basement goes right
she
into
call
the
back?
stainless steel and up.
Did she call back?
Never heard back.
Okay, alright. I guess we don't have a non-pub.
Okay?
Oh, we do have a non-pub.
Did you talk about Cannon Bridge, let them know about the hole and?
There is a hole on our side of King Bridge, okay.
It's
when
quite
we-
a hole
Can
too.
we turn the bridge around?
When we went over and inspected the bridge with one of the engineers from the state and looked at it, okay, the abutment end on the Tilton side looked good, okay? The I-beams looked good. The deck, okay, looked good from underneath. There are some expansion joints on the south side of the bridge, okay, that need to have some work done to them. They need to be cleaned, they need to be, the bolts put back in them, okay? But overall, the bridge looks good.
Yeah.
There are a few holes in the bridge. They did not membrane the bridge when they installed the bridge, okay? So when you see the asphalt, okay, and you see the concrete, that's the top of the deck of of the bridge. But, you know, we've had this situation through the winter, we put stone in it, okay? Ledge pack into this hole. I've even got some coal patch from the state.
Yeah.
We've cut all the water out, we've tried to seal it that way, that doesn't. So I'll put some more ledge pack in, and then when the asphalt plant opens up, I'll cut it out and we'll repave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you
Okay.
call Bob Southworth and let him know?
We have,
Yeah.
You will?
Scott McGuffin is able to attend town meeting on April 21st.
How much?
Well, he gives us a
Discount, I think it's
Discount.
150.
150, I believe, an hour.
And he's big for this, questions of legalities.
Good for a,
Is that what
depending on how it goes, up to a 3-hour meeting.
Yeah.
Well, one of the questions, do you wanna tell one of the questions that
Minimum.
Tim and I had that might come up at the meeting?
Oh, yeah, we were talking, no, go ahead.
Well, that
Sure
if
idea.
someone were to get up and amend, like
Well-
just completely gut that warrant
Yeah.
article,
What about securing earnings?
can they do that?
So can you amend any warrant article?
Wait,
Right, but people are
That's what I
coming
wrote there.
specifically to vote on that warrant article.
Yep,
That's
Still
what's
a
been
warrant
warned.
article.
that's right.
Apparently the
Just
back
like every
door
town
on
meeting.
Ernie's up
And
here
you're gonna
has been
amend
kicked in.
every warrant
The
article
one
once you
piece
get
of
to town
plywood or
meeting.
something up
that's
there.
it.
Because you
That's
were
all you
warned
need?
that it was
Both,
taking
well,
place.
we mentioned both doors.
Okay.
And then people
Unfortunately-
would vote on the amendment. And
The
if it
people will
fails,
vote on the
Yeah.
amendment.
okay.
Just to keep
Can I
the small
keep-
children.
I guess the other
Yep.
concern is
I'll
that
take care of it.
if the selectmen didn't have
Thank you.
their
All
own,
right,
Thank you, Dennis.
Go ahead, Dennis.
have their own legal representative there, then there could be other people getting up from the audience stating their legal opinion.
Yeah,
It would not be, it would be a wise idea
yeah.
to have them there. From what we've experienced in these
Just
past
look at
few
our-
meetings, like
yes.
the budget committee meeting, and the contention there.
Yeah.
There's such contention.
Yes,
I just think that you're right.
I think it's worthwhile.
And our moderator isn't an attorney.
No,
Well, and then the whole discussion about the reconsideration, and that it had to be from the prevailing
yeah,
vote.
yeah,
And
we
then you
know
have
that.
to reveal your.
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah,
How you voted?
how you voted. I mean,
yeah,
Which
if we'd
was
have
not
had an
true.
attorney at that meeting, he
we
could have.
could have resolved it,
yes.
right.
All
I
right,
think it's well worthwhile to do,
Do we wanna make a
and
motion?
he is the next moderator.
yes.
Well, he
Right.
was a damn good one too.
I'd like to make a motion that we ask McGovern to attend our meeting on the 21st, town meeting.
Second that.
Alright, motion's been made and second to ask Scott McGuffin to stand by as,
Attend the meeting.
To
be
attend the
there.
meeting?
To,
Stand by.
yes, to attend, not stand by.
to attend the meeting, to be there as a standby attorney.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
okay, then the only other question would be, he would like to speak with the board before the meeting, so how do you wanna do that? Do you wanna just write down what your concerns and questions are, we can give that to him, or do you wanna have one
Well, I
of you
was
call him?
I was gonna say if we meet
Have him
next
come to our
Tuesday,
meeting.
yeah, if we're gonna meet next Tuesday before town meeting, what, he could be here too.
All right, did you set a time for your next meeting?
Well, we were gonna talk
Okay.
about it.
I didn't know we're meeting next
I
Tuesday.
just, he wants,
No, I-
he wants guidance from the board, exactly
Right.
what your expectations are.
No,
That the
and
damn
then-
thing passes.
Right, well, I
Yeah.
mean, that way
You better make
can be
certain it
prepared.
yes,
Be prepared for what
You
you
tell him I said so.
see may be some of the contingencies. We want to wisely use his time.
yeah. No, we had
How much
talked
is what is
about
that?
getting together next Tuesday because we've got meetings Wednesday, so we won't be able to. And just go over
Maybe Wednesday.
any things,
We have the fire meeting, Old Home Day meeting,
committee,
and we have the,
I'm just
well,
not.
we have the the
Something else
Winnipesaukee
to do too.
Transportation in the morning.
Wednesday's a big
Right,
day.
and we're gonna have an abbreviated staff meeting Wednesday morning, very
All right.
abbreviated.
Monday
Not
I'm here
upstairs.
with.
No, no,
We
down
have
here, but I wanna go
Winnipesaukee
up.
Trail is
Yeah.
10.
And a huge
Yeah.
tech center.
Tuesday you wanna meet,
Shower.
what are we doing on Wednesday?
The Winnipesaukee Transit is at 10,
Meeting and.
the advisory board, and then
the,
Old Home Day is 6:30, and the fire
Fire
commissioners are at 6:30.
Oh,
I'm gonna do
I
fire.
wrote down 6 p.m.
I'm doing fire commission, we'll have to tell
They're
Old Home
6:30.
Day. Maybe
Well,
Cindy
if you're
can go.
doing, if you're doing fire commission, I'll do Old Home Day. think we should have somebody do an Old Home
We'll
Day.
get Cindy to go.
Yeah. So
we can
anyway,
She's on vacation next week, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she's not gonna be.
yeah, she's on vacation.
Which is, thank you for bringing her name up, because she needs to have this signed. Because
Thought we
she's going
signed
on
one
vacation.
Signed one for her last night.
It's another one, and then also this
It's
is.
all about her, all
Those
about
two
her.
things Cindy needs.
It's
Where's
got
the
to be
trail
said.
meeting? Is that, well, that's the one you're gonna walk down the trail?
No, no, that was
That was
yesterday.
yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Is the snow
That's it.
gone, is the bushiness gone?
Yep. It's the Transit
San
Authority,
Francisco was out.
Winnipesaukee
I know.
You're
Transit
still jet
Authority is
lagging.
meeting next Wednesday at 10 o'clock for their public hearing.
The Winnipesaukee Transit is meeting tomorrow upstairs.
And I would like to be at that
She said
as
Wednesday.
well.
Oh, okay.
And why
Wednesday.
is this,
I'm so confused.
oh, because it's a void, okay.
But anyway, if we meet next Tuesday, just to go over any last minute things, well, we'll get to that in a minute. In the preparation for Thursday. We don't have to be here all afternoon, just get together, go over anything we think might be problem zero and make sure we got all the information we wanna have
Next
available.
Tuesday is that State House thing at 2:45.
Well, then we'll meet in the morning.
Okay.
But, I don't know, I think it's a good idea, and we could have Scott come then and voice, whatever concerns we have, and, what it is that we're looking for him to do for us.
He
Go
does
out there and
answer our
Funk
questions
everybody
when.
that is
wanna-
speaking against. So,
So Tuesday, what time?
well, I was gonna say, apparently there's something in the state at 2:30 in the afternoon.
2:45 State House.
So can we do it in the morning?
Sure.
Morning is the only time I got.
8:30 physical therapy, but
Well, what
that's
about,
an hour, so I can be back here by 9:30.
so if we make it 10, oh wait, you have to be 11.
I'll come at 10.
10 o'clock
Just cut
on the 19th, 10 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, 9:30, 10 o'clock?
No, I'm just saying 10, that way you
Sounds
have,
In the morning, 10 o'clock?
yeah. And then,
10
I'll call Scott, but if he's not able to be there, do you want him just to be available by phone? I'm sure
well,
we'll be talking about a lot of things, right?
I was gonna say, why don't we take the weekend, if you have any questions for Scott, write them down over the weekend, we can give them all to Joyce, and she can send them on to Scott, so he'll have an idea of what our concerns are.
Quite frankly, I don't know enough about it to have
My
questions.
biggest concern is how they can I think they can adulterate that warrant article every which way but loose.
Yeah.
I mean, they can
And is there
They
anything,
change the amount, they can,
We can in turn re-amend the amendment, can't we?
you have to
you
be
have to
careful.
vote it down.
You have to vote it down first,
Right, so
but more important, is it any,
No.
okay, let's, I'll talk,
Never mind, more important.
yes. Just how to handle if they start to.
I mean, can they change the location, they can change every card, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, my question's been answered.
Okay, so these are the kind of concerns that we have.
Do you really think that they would, that anybody
Yes.
would meet
Yes.
those?
Yes,
Yes,
Well,
Definitely.
they'll be castigated
Absolutely.
in public.
Joe, 2 years ago, 2 people in the town of Tilton rescinded a $900,000 bond and created a life safety building committee. 2
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah.
cut and pasted out of several selectmen's meetings out of context words and created a video and changed the world in Tilton. And if they can do that, they can do anything.
And consequently, the law was changed to prevent that from happening.
Thousands and thousands of dollars it cost the town.
and sent ripples.
Well, that must be a
through the
matter of
state
public record who
financial
these individuals
bonding
are,
community.
isn't it?
Yeah, and then I caused an earthquake.
And what,
Who
Joe?
were they?
In fact, what? I've never been so angry my entire life. I
You
was
know,
so
and I'm surprised that Mr. Davis is now against the police station, seeing as he helped create this map. I'm just surprised, that's all.
Well, you think.
The
It's not the right time.
The
can't
very,
claim
the
fiscal
very people
responsibility.
the very people that argued at town meeting to buy 61 Business Park Drive are the very people arguing not to have the police station at 61 Business Park Drive.
They seem to think that now just isn't the right time. I've never heard anybody say, I don't think it should go there, I don't think.
Oh,
we should
yeah.
police
Oh,
it."
Yeah,
Pat Clark
oh.
will say that.
And then, oh no, I take it back, he wants his police station down on Route 3.
I know, that's good. Okay, so the other issue that we need to bring up is custodian.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear back from?
No,
No, I left messages at home and her cell and nothing came back.
so should we give it a day and then bring it up next week, or should we?
Yeah,
So who are we trying?
The
to
next
call?
person on the list that was in,
Was that the pregnant person that has
Yes.
held
Yes.
your job?
Do you want me
Yeah.
to try
that
calling
had
her
an
this
11-pound
afternoon?
baby.
I could call her back this afternoon.
And we don't wanna call Joanna's significant
No, it
other.
doesn't,
he's
want-
not
He's
interested.
Not
not
interested.
interested, Catherine, I called him.
already did.
I was gonna say,
not a bad
yeah,
thing.
why don't we try her again this afternoon?
Okay. I'll give
In the
him a call.
meantime, I was thinking as soon as we're done here, I'm going to at least clean the bathrooms and get that done. I walk in there like this right now, so.
We have a tape measure, right?
Yes, one in council office,
Just create a diverter so that a bucket can be filled from the sink. It'll-
Oh, I keep
Nice.
forgetting that.
yeah. Yeah, that would be nice.
How do we make purchases at Home Depot or Lowe's? Or Billy's?
Billy's.
We can get
Just
it at
walk
Billy's.
in and you
Just
say
walk
it's
into
for the
Billy's.
town.
Bring the receipt back to us.
I'll just go into Billy's. It's real easy. We have wrenches, right? We can do it right now.
No. This is just gonna be something that you can stick under the faucet. It will bypass the sink and empty into the
No,
bucket.
because then you gotta hook it up.
Yeah,
No, she's
it'll
gonna
There's
hook
nothing
it.
to hook up.
It'll
There will
take,
not be any mechanical connection. It'll be like a funnel top made out of plastic pipe. You just stick it under there, turn on the water, it will divert the water from going into the sink and it'll drop into the bucket.
I was just.
I
gonna-
don't think we should be doing any cutting into pipes
I'm not gonna cut
or
into the
anything
pipe.
like that if we're not plumbers.
I'm not gonna cut the pipe.
Well, let's see Norm's production and see if it works.
All I'm gonna do is take it out a three-way
That was the
shut off
interest rate.
with a quarter
Oh,
turn.
okay.
Right,
Three-way shut off
with a
with a
quarter,
quarter turn.
and you turn it on and
So you
fill the
supply in,
bucket.
supply up to the sink,
The interest
supply
rate
out,
won't
you
fail.
put a sink line on,
Which
you
is
put
very
another
good.
shut off on the end, you're done.
It's just good. I was just gonna build that.
That can splash in the bucket.
I wanna see Catherine's.
So whatever you
picture.
do could splash into the bucket.
I got a three-way quarter turn.
And then it's a shut off
It's a shut off, you got a
And where are
quarter
you gonna
turn
put that?
underneath the sink.
under the
It
sink.
means cutting into the pipe.
No, we haven't looked in there, you
But
gotta.
it still means doing some connection and stuff for
It's
which
a
you're not
wrench.
licensed
It's a
to do.
wrench, don't have to be.
You don't have to be licensed to do that.
I don't know if we
That's
have a
just-
wrench.
You don't at my
At
house.
a town hall, yes you do. If you want to do your own thing at
Electricity.
home, that's different.
No, this is not soldering
where's our
anything.
tool
This is
bag?
unscrewing
Yeah,
the
you
top
just,
here.
Jesus, it's nothing.
We have a
Right.
wrench?
Get
A
some
wrench.
Teflon tape.
I mean, I could do that. I do
Yeah,
that
it's
sort of
easy.
thing all the time. I'm just
Good.
opposed to doing
You can
anything
help
that if it doesn't work, if it
How
leaks,
can it
there's a
not work?
liability.
How can it leak?
Oh, what could what
It's
could
a
happen
compression
bad?
fitting.
What bad things could happen?
It's a compression
Ooh.
fitting.
I'm looking forward to it. Can I come and watch?
No, you can help.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Now
They're
what bad
winding
things
down.
could happen?
It's not gonna
And
help.
here's the fire department, just in case.
Hey, right over. There you go.
Start talking about bad things happening and the fire department shows
Where
up.
are you, Brad? You're in here.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. See, I'm waiting for you.
So I said,
I missed you.
I said you can't burn that paper trash inside the building.
All right, I
Certainly
make a
not the
motion.
same
We adjourn.
I have time, sure.
All those in favor?
Oh, I
What did I
have
add
no
to?
question that we should be